Hi, hello. So many aspirants have requested me to put an answer writing video, especially with reference to the optional papers, right? Fine. So in this connection, I'm going to show you how to write a better answer with respect to political science and international relations optional paper, right? Fine. See, here I am going to take up one question from previous year UPSC optional paper, right? And I'm going to compare two versions of answer. One version of answer written by an aspirant and submitted to me for correction, and another version of answer written by me, right? And I'm going to explain the differences between these two answers, right? And also I will tell you how much score you will get for these two answers, right? Fine. Now let me tell you what is the question, right? So let me tell you the question. This question is taken from UPSC mains political science paper 2021, right? The question is, discuss the political economy approach to the comparative analysis of politics, and the number of marks, the marks awarded is 10 marks, and paper 2 section A question. This question is paper 2 section A, 10 marks, right? Fine. Now see, here I am showing you the answer script given by an aspirant for correction, right? And I'll explain what is there in this answer sheet, right? Fine. Now you just see this answer script. The first two paragraphs I'll tell you, and I'll explain you the first two paragraphs. The first paragraph, political economy approach is one of the modern approach of comparative politics, which can be defined as economic interpretation of politics or the study of economic policies of the state. The second paragraph, the foundation of political economy approach can be traced back to the Marxian idea that economy is the basic structure of any country. Hence, to know more about a country, we should know about the economic policies of the state, right? Fine. See, whenever you write an answer, the first and foremost thing you should keep in mind is the word limit, the time limit, and the space limit, right? Within the given word limit, given space limit, you should give maximum number of productive points. Very important, maximum number of productive points catering to the demand of the question, right? Fine. Now these two paragraphs, the first two paragraphs which I have read from the answer script, shows you one thing. There is nothing very specific, and there is only one point which is being explained, occupying almost 3/4 of a page. See, in the first two paragraphs, the aspirant is trying to define just what is a political economy approach. That is the intention of these two paragraphs. And to just define the political economy approach, he has consumed 3/4 of the page. 3/4 of the side of a page, right? 3/4. That means you just imagine for 150 words or approximately 10 marks, almost 3/4 is gone. And the point conveyed is the only definition part. So he has wasted too much of space for this much small content, right? Fine. Now the next paragraph. The different schools of political economy approach are: 1. Liberal school, within bracket Adam Smith, who gave concepts such as laissez-faire state, market controlled model, and other important ideas are welfare state, rational choice theory. The next paragraph. However, Marxist perspective of political economy approach emerged as a critique of liberal school, where Marx held that Adam Smith's idea does not lead to the welfare of the state but welfare of few states. Right? Fine. See, here again, you see one thing. See, now I am going to show you the another version or another transcript of answer paper showing the answer written by me. Right? Fine. See, he has tried to explain the liberal perspective and the Marxist perspective. But again, the economy of words, he has missed out. See, there are one or two points, valid points he has given, but again, he has consumed much space, right? And he has left out some amount of description. See, the first paragraph, that is the third paragraph, he says, he defines what is liberal perspective of political economy approach. And in the next paragraph, that is the fourth paragraph, he describes about Marx, right? That Marxist perspective. And see, he has touched upon only the superficial dimension. He has not gone into the depth of the perspective which he is trying to explain. And also, he has consumed much space. See, having consumed much space also, he could not give the depth in explanation, right? But he has just superficially touched upon. But there is something more which needs to be added to these two paragraphs. So, this also I will explain and I will show it in the answer script written by me, right? Fine. Then, the next paragraph. Other Marxists like A.G. Frank gave dependency theory within bracket neo-colonialism, where developing countries depend on developed countries, Nicolae Paulensis gave the concept of relative autonomy approach, full stop. In Indian context, it can be seen in Rudolf and Rudolph's Pursuit of Lakshmi and Amartya Sen's Uncertain Glory. See, one thing I can see, he is giving a lot of facts. Okay, this author, this book, Indian context, that and all is okay. But the concept's depth is missing out. Conceptually, he has missed out, but he has given more facts. See, you need some amount of facts. I do agree, but facts alone do not produce a quality answer. That is very important. The quantum of facts which you give may be quantitatively showing up, but qualitatively it will not show up, right? That is very important. So, he has quantitatively shown it. He knows this many authors, this many books, fine, but the content is gone, right? So, you just remain and watch and note this, and later when I show another transcript of answer, you just compare, right? Fine. Now, the last paragraph. Though criticized for its economic reductionism, political economy approach has contributed significantly to the field of comparative politics. See, again, in the last concluding passage, there is nothing much. He has just said economic reductionism, which is a criticism on Marxist approach, that's all. Then political economy approach has contributed significantly to the field of comparative. Again, it's more like a reproduction of the question. He has just reframed the question and concluded it, right? Fine. Now, see, this whole answer, which you also must have read and seen from this video, is having more facts, less depth of content, right? And there is much wastage of space without any strength of argument, right? So, for this 10-mark question, I would say he will probably get, say, around 3.5 marks, right? But an aspirant who is aiming for top rank, who is aiming for top scaling, right? must necessarily get, at least for these kind of very simpler questions, I would say 6.5 to 7 marks. Because in optional paper, ideally your score must be minimum 275 plus, at least. And maximum, okay, that is, let's say 320, 330 is also possible, and nowadays people are scoring that scores, right? And that being the case, you should maximize your score by at least getting 6.5 to 7 marks for such type of very basic theoretical questions. See, this is a very basic theoretical question which you can answer well, right? And in this kind of questions, definitely you should not lose marks. There are few questions which are framed in a very dry manner, and even the writing of answers is sometimes becomes cloudy. There, okay, naturally your marks will go down, but at least we should compromise by answering such easy questions by giving quality answers, right? Fine. Now I'm showing you the answer script which I have written to show you, right? Fine. See, now see the same question. Discuss the political economy approach to the comparative analysis of politics. See, one thing I'll tell you, be it general studies, be it the optional paper, before starting to write an answer on the answer sheet, please spend some amount of time to fix what is demanded by the question and what is there in your mind. How are you going to frame and put it on the paper, and have some amount of fixed framework structuration, and then you start writing the answer. Just immediately seeing the question, don't write the answer, because that will cost you heavily by all means, right? So first you just fix, right? I'm just going to fix few things for this question, right? So the question is, discuss the political economy approach to the comparative analysis of politics, right? Fine. Now I'm going to fix what I'm going to write, right? So the first paragraph, the very first paragraph, I'm going to just define very simply what is political economy approach, right? Then the next two paragraphs, one paragraph with respect to the liberal perspective, and another paragraph, that is the third paragraph, is with respect to the Marxist perspective, right? So 3 paragraphs over. Now the fourth paragraph, I am just going to take up one contemporary issue relevant to this topic, right? So contemporary issue, let me take globalization, right? So always you should go like this: the definition part, the content explanation and description part, and 1 or 2 instances probably most relevant in the current context, right? Then the final passage must be the concluding passage, right? Fine. So the fourth paragraph, I am going to take up one current contemporary issue or context which is relevant to this particular question, and then the final concluding passage, right? So now you know the answer script given by the aspirant. Now you just see my answer script, right? See the first passage, the first paragraph, I am just going to define: comparative political economy is the cross-national comparison of the ways in which politics and economics are interdependent within modern nation states. Now the second paragraph, economic liberals. Now within bracket I am putting all the thinkers' name: Adam Smith, David Ricardo, Paul Samuelson, J.M. Keynes, right? See, in that answer script given by the aspirant, you must have noted that. See, he has spent two lines for each thinker, and he has mentioned the author of the book and the name, but not the concept. See, when you say liberal tradition, okay, liberal perspective, liberal tradition, the within bracket you put 2 or 3 thinkers, and then you go to explain what is liberal perspective, right? So if you start giving too many facts, you will be losing out. time and space, of course, marks also, right? Fine. Now, the second passage. So, economic liberals, within bracket, I have mentioned a few thinkers. Economic liberals called for the laissez-faire doctrine, that is, the freedom of the market from all kinds of political restriction and regulation. Each country, see, again, I'll tell you one thing. This is a world politics question paper. So, you should frame, see, generally, because there are other few answer sheets where they have just explained about liberalism in a very generic way. But since this being a world politics paper, you should give it in a context of world politics in a comparative perspective, right? Fine. Now, you see, each country can exploit its own natural advantages, resources and endowments, comma, and gain from specialization, comma, ensures an efficient and equitable distribution of goods and services across the world economy, right? So, this passage is all about the liberal perspective, right? Then the next passage in Marx's perspective. So, again within bracket here I am mentioning few thinkers' name: Marx, Engels, A.G. Frank, Immanuel Wallerstein, world system, right? World economic relations are best conceived as class struggle between the oppressor and the oppressed. That is, in international relations between the core industrialized countries and periphery developing countries, and the unequal exchange that occurs between the two, right? Full stop. I am giving one instance also, that is by another economist, right? Raul Prebisch, an Argentine economist, theorized that it is the adverse terms of trade with the developed countries which has historically deteriorated the economic condition of Latin American countries, right? See, now three passages. In the first passage I just defined what is comparative political economy. The second passage I just explained what is liberal tradition of this political economy, and in the third passage I just explained what is Marxist perspective of this political economy, right? Fine. Now, the fourth paragraph I am going to give a contemporary example, right? Fine. Now, you just see this fourth paragraph I am splitting it into 2 points, right? 2 sub points. The first point, dependency theorists hold that the current phase of globalization is neoliberal globalization dominated by transnational corporations, TNCs, dominated by transnational corporations, right? Fine. Now, see, the first sub point I just gave a Marxist perspective. Now, the second sub point I am just going to give a critique for the first sub point, which is the neoliberal version, referring to the current contemporary context, right? So the second sub point, the neoliberal paradigm proposes that the underdevelopment of peripheral states of the third world is primarily because of the failure of state-led development strategies, particularly import substitution strategies, right? Full stop. It believes that these countries can, however, develop and obtain competitive advantage in an open world economy by rolling back the state control, right? So the fourth passage is over, right? Fine. Now the final concluding passage, right? See, concluding passages, the political economy approach hence provides vital insights into the intricacies of economic forces and the manner in which a symbiosis of economy and polity works within and in connection with external forces, right? Fine. See, now I have just compared one version of answer given by an aspirant and another version written by me, right? Fine. So, why I have shown a comparison is you should know the difference between these two scripts of answers. Then only you will be able to appreciate how well you can plan your answer, fix your points before starting to put it on paper. That's very important, right? See, this is one crucial moment, that is, the 3 hours within the examination hall, irrespective of the amount of hard work, the number of hours you studied, you did not sleep, this, that, all those struggles, everything. If you fail to perform within the 3 hours within the examination hall, all is gone. All is gone, right? So you should not take things just lightly. It's very serious thing. You should be very careful in learning and mastering the art of answer writing. Unless you learn and master the art of answer writing, the UPSC Civil Services exam, more specifically the main sport, is going to cost you much, right? So please take care to learn how to write better answers, right? So I'll be coming with more videos, both with respect to optionals and also with respect to GS papers, right? So yeah, that's it. And if you have any other specific doubts or queries, please put your queries in the comment box. We are here to support you, and we'll definitely address, and definitely we'll try to address all the queries in the future videos also, right? Wish you all the very best. Thank you. Bye.